everyone. Hello. Happy February 27th, the 27th day of Black History Month. Back with another talk, and today's topic focuses on being fearless empowers others. Yes, fear is contagious, but so is courage. And when a leader speaks first, others exhale. And when someone names a thing that everyone else is dancing around and not wanting to focus on, the room actually shifts because we're bringing light to the issue. We're bringing light to a subject that's going unheard of. We're bringing spotlight to what's truly going on, what's troubling us, what's troubling a situation, and where the problem actually lies, highlighting the actual root cause. And when you choose truth over comfort, you quietly give everyone that's watching permission to do the same. When you speak on someone, you're allowing others to speak on it. You're allowing others to then become fearless. Being fearless is not about being loud. Being fearless is not about showing up and just thinking because I'm loud, I'm correct, or I'm loud, so what I have to say matters more. It's about being clear, precise, and when you're in clarity and being clear about what is harmful, clear about what is unacceptable, clear about what we need to participate in or be silent about no longer. It's about, shifting the focus. It's about standing firm and speaking clearly, highlighting what needs to be said, showcasing what needs to be said, highlighting and showcasing what needs to be done, taking a stand. When we look at lessons that should be learned from Black History Month, it all is about being fearless. Being fearless to create, being fearless to fight back, being fearless to say no, being fearless to keep going, being fearless to drag others with you, sadly. And we're still dragging others today. It's the courage that shows up from the past that we bring into the present day and with us into the future. That is what fearless is being about. Being fearless is not allowing the past to be ignored. Being fearless is about recognizing that the past is still repeating itself. And being fearless is allowing others that want to be in denial of that to, push back on that. Because denial is a dangerous weapon. And denial is the guise and the blindfold, right? It's what keeps you from moving forward because it's focusing on not understanding and not recognizing why you need to be fearless. It's moving forward to, this contagious ideology that spreads that, it's okay to live in a suppressive mindset and to not move forward and to not want to move forward. And that is contagious. Remember, fear is contagious, but so is courage. And courage is what you need in order to enact change. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm doing well. It's Friday here. Hope you're having a good weekend. I am. I'm on a little late today. Usually I'm on earlier, but I'm being true to myself and being fearless and staying true to myself and coming on every day. So today's topic is about just being fearless. Being fearless is the key to creating change. Being fearless is the key to learning from the past and being able to look, okay, all right, I'm in Virginia. Being fearless is about moving forward. It's about not fearing the past and not fearing the present or the future. It's about standing firm and recognizing that fear is truly an illusion that we've made into a reality, if that makes sense to people. Because the fear that's being created is based on forms of power. And in order for people to move forward and maintain power, because that's where the suppression comes from, people wanting to be in power by enacting hate and fear, and that's how you maintain power, right? Because fear is contagious. But so is courage. Because when we look at Black History Month, those that were fearless were courageous. Those that were fearless, they empowered others. That's how movements are started. That's how change is created. And it's constant evolution when you're fearless, right? Because you start to recognize where the changes need to be, where do we need to grow and prosper, what really isn't working, who really isn't for us. It's all of that. And moving forward from that is the key to true longevity and prosperity for just society as a whole. Not just, and then that enacts into the workplace as well. Remembering it's all connected. And where it's all connected. And the understanding that, highlighting the unacceptability of evil and not cowering in the face of it, because that's truly what it is. And that's a lesson from Black History Month, and people truly recognizing that is how many survived evil and how those evil systems still plague us today, and how we need to move forward from those evil systems. And that only comes if we are fearless. And today, fearless is something that takes a lot of courage, because now we have the internet and social media. And when you speak up, the evil will come lurking and will try to dismantle and try to disparage and try to remove what you've accomplished in life as well, removing you from your successes, ripping you from prosperity. That's the easiest way to try to silence people in today, to take what you have earned, which would be your reputation, which determines how successful you can be in life. When you touch that and you try to tarnish that, that's when that's when power tries to suppress you. And that goes back into another lesson that we need to learn from the past, that's highlighted from Black History Month, is how to tarnish a reputation. It was very easy to do by making Black people something to fear, something inhumane, right? See how that ties in and how it's still connected? How those ways of the past, which truly never really left us, but how they have followed us and continue to lurk and drag into the future because of the lessons not being learned from those who were fearless. And that comes from recognizing that being fearless doesn't stop when you feel you've prospered, or that this situation has been settled, but nothing else needs to, because of other forms of danger that have been created. If we look at how the plans of true inclusivity for all were dismantled as we moved through the civil rights movement, and then into like the 70s and the changes of workplace law and things, when women were more starting to get actual access to credit cards. Believe it or not, women were not allowed to have a credit card until the 70s. So just those types of civil rights as well, those types of rights that followed after the civil rights. And even then, it was still the inequity of fair compensation for women on the job and people of color on the job. So these lessons have not been learned and have continued to drag on, even as people have tried and worked to chip away. But the fear, the secret weapon of fear, what has hindered progress. That is because when people are feared, it makes people silent, because fear is contagious. But don't forget that being courageous is contagious as well. It spreads. You can see, even when we look at people that are marching right now, and everyone is involved. Everyone wants, true calm and rationality throughout the world. Speaking up, standing against the oppressor, being the voice for the oppressed. That fearlessness is what is driving change. It may not look all fancy like how we expect it to look, but the change is occurring nonetheless. So that is something that we all must recognize as we look at the past and how we move into the future. Being fearless, believing, having faith, never doubting, you know, and that also goes into fear and how fear has been implemented to create doubt, you know, to doubt that someone can be human. That is dehumanizing. That creates the dehumanization. That creates the idea of animalistic and predatory and filthy and dirty and all of those words, those discriminatory terms. Ignorant is another one, another favorite. Ignorant, incompetent, lacking of empathy. All of these suggestive, discriminatory terms that have been used to create fear. But fear is truly an illusion that we hold up as something that is a reality. And that's because fear can be contagious, because it can rob you of your true sensibility, of what is really going on, and the true reality of situations. Because when you're fearful, you don't ask questions. When you're fearful, you're believing those in power because of the assumption that if someone holds power, they are competent or that they have the best for all. These are all assumptions. But mind you, when fear is in play, you're not going to question. You're not going to ask and want to know, because you are fearful. You are fearful. And that's something that we need to move from. Us as leaders, all of us walking on this earth are a leader and has someone that is inspired by them, that has someone that is looking up to them. And that is a representation of you needing to be fearless, because that's how you help to contribute change in the world. And that's how change will occur, because as we each one teach one, lead by example, as we move forward in a fearless way, we're helping the world to be fearless. I hope you guys enjoyed this talk today. And if you have any suggestions for tomorrow's talk or any talks in the future, please leave the comments. Leave your thoughts in the comments. I welcome them. And thank you again for joining me. And have a great weekend and love yourself and others. Bye.